Welcome to Wisdom Teachings with Dr. Amanda Love. Today's topic, language of the heart. Language of the heart. Each of our hearts speaks a language. The essence of that language is love, which gets shared and expressed in different ways. Some hearts speak through vibration using words, tones, or other sounds, either written or spoken. Some hearts express through art, movement, and touch, and still others through just still being. The heart does not need words, but it might use words to express itself. It does not need to draw, mold, move, or touch, but it might do so in order to share itself with others. While the language of the heart can be interpreted by placing words, labels, definitions, and meanings upon it, it is beyond all ideas and concepts. The language of the heart tends to evoke feeling in us, a felt sense that touches us in some way or brings with it a sense of connection, depth, and beyondness. In order to both express and receive the language of the heart, your heart must be open. You might wonder what it means exactly to have an open heart. Simply put, having an open heart means that you are without personal agenda, not attempting to protect your personal identity from others, but rather that you have a desire to share, express, or serve others in some way through being yourself. It means not being guarded from potential threats or losses to your personal sense of self. It means being available to and for life rather than closed off from it. An open heart listens rather than insists. It shares without force or manipulation. It feels whatever is present without judgment or story of any kind. It's inclusive and discerning. It cares about the essence of you and others. It can be strong and even passionately ferocious at times, well rooted in being of service to love. It doesn't tolerate BS, and yet loves all nonetheless. It recognizes or knows that while life includes you, it's not about you. The language of the heart also has a different vibrational quality than what our thoughts, emotions, or physical body have. If you think of it in terms of wavelength, our physical bodies have the longest wavelength. This is why they appear more solid, gross, or dense. Our emotions have a slightly shorter wavelength than our physical bodies, but a longer wavelength than our thoughts. This is why you have to slow yourself down in order to recognize what you are feeling, and also why when you feel something, you move at a slower pace than if you are thinking. Thoughts have a shorter wavelength than our emotions or our physical body. This is why if you spend a lot of time thinking, you might feel ungrounded or find yourself in a fast pace. The frequency of the heart or soul body is an even shorter wavelength. It is the subtlest of the bodies described here. Just like you can change the channel of the radio and tune into a different frequency, you can change the tone or tension in your nervous system and tune into these different frequencies of you. No frequency or body is better than the other. The key is to have them all energized and accessible to you. The language and frequencies of the heart open us into a more multidimensional nature of reality. While the mind tends to keep us in a linear, logical, and 3D view of life, the heart breaks and bends all of those supposed rules. This is why attempting to interpret or put meanings onto the expressions of the heart never really works. We can do it, but really we just end up with a bunch of projections, and the essence of the thing is covered up underneath all of our ideas and meanings about it. Yet this is what the human mind likes to do. It flattens the heart frequency out to its frequency so that the world seems safe, ordinary, and consistent. It's boring, yet it's what we tend to do so that we can make sense of it all, and so that our mind feels like it understands something and can accept it. While this isn't bad, it does postpone or dampen our access to our heart. Even though the language of the heart's expressions are varied and infinite, their core message is the same. Unification and oneness is the beat of their drum. Knowing this can ease the mind's endless search for meaning. All meanings will eventually cease to be relevant in this realization. When we are ready and available, the language of our heart simply expresses through us. It's not something we have to figure out how to do. Your mind will really dislike that, yet it's the way it is. You can't figure out your heart. I mean, you can try, but good luck. Now, there may be skill sets you need to learn or worldly knowledge that you need to acquire in order to give form to your heart's frequency, but the form is not the essence of your heart, rather only the means to share it. Don't get too lost in perfecting forms and rather focus on the heart's frequency that you are. If more people did this, we would have a lot less boring or mind-numbing jobs that people are just trying to get through. It's not about the thing you do, but who you be inside of what you do. While you can't figure out your heart, you can prepare for its arrival and clear out the vessel of you for its expression. Preparation for its arrival is doing the cleanup work of all of your personal agendas. This means doing the inner and outer work of dismantling the need to protect your personal separate self, as if there really even is one. Remember, this is what it takes to open the heart. When the heart is open, expression is natural. Just like when the bladder is open, you naturally pee. There's nothing to figure out, it's mechanics. However, if there's a bunch of stones in your bladder, it makes it harder for the pee to come out. That's the cleanup work you need to do. Clear out the stones that interfere with your heart's natural flow. There is nothing too non-ordinary for the heart. In fact, you can kind of think of the language of the heart as non-ordinary. If you are still self-conscious about looking weird, not being accepted by others, being judged or failing, then you know where to begin your cleanup work. When you are in your heart's frequency, you honestly don't really care about that stuff anymore. It's just a non-issue. Your only intention is to be of service in the ways that your heart desires to express. Your mind frequently won't know what any of it means or what will come of it, but again, you care less and less about needing to know. You will find freedom in being you.